So I've been sitting on this, I guess. So I went to the South for Thanksgiving, and I went to see this game. I went to the Alabama game with I forget which one it was, but I went with my friend Pat, and we went down to the campus, tailgated, went back to his house. He was pretty tired, and I was supposed to stay with my brother that night in Birmingham. And
Frank.
My brother Frank.
Legend.
Oh, yeah, the legend of Frank. Yeah, the legendary Frank.
Yes.
Every time you hear this voice, it's like pretty much me doing Frank. Love him. So I go down to Birmingham. My friend Patrick's pretty tired. He's like, I gotta go to sleep. And I'm like, I want to stay out a little bit longer. So I go and I go to this mom's basement, this bar in Birmingham, and I see some old friends.
I like that place.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's like somebody's basement.
Yeah, it's a good. It rules. There's a bunch of friends work there and stuff. But it gets kind of late, and I realize I haven't called my brother yet to like let me into his house because I don't have a key to his house.
Yeah,
and I call him. And I call him, and I call him, and I keep calling him, and there's no answer. And I'm like, shit, he went to sleep. And I'm like leaving messages and shit, and he went to sleep. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I gotta get a hotel. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna get on Hotel tonight and see what's up. And I found a Motel 6.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
Hotels, motels, any kind of living arrangements that you're paying for in Birmingham are decidedly awful, disgusting, and terrifying. Lots of Birmingham has come back. It is doing better. You know, it's a pleasant place to be. But the hotel situation in the city of Birmingham is fraught with danger.
I didn't know that. I mean... So it's this Motel 6 off Highway 280.
all the words you've said so far.
Well, yeah. I'm going to do my own sidebar.
It's like near Inverness. Like,
you're just making it worse with every turn.
Motel 6, I'll say this. It's not quite a crapshoot because that implies that like the probability of getting a good one is 50-50.
Right.
Which it's not. But... You know, there are good Motel 6s.
I've stayed in a fine motel. I've stayed in one in Nashville that was like right under it was right next to an overpass.
Yeah.
And it was totally fine.
Yeah, Reno. Shout out to Reno, Nevada. The Motel 6 I stayed there was brand new. Everything was great. But also on the flip side, you know, you could go back and listen to, the episode where I talked about the one and I recorded the crazy shit going on next door in Rapid City, South Dakota.
I should have remembered you were in a Motel 6.
That's why Rod was like, he was like, man, you guys have talked about Motel 6. I can't believe you didn't tell this story.
No.
So anyway, you're in a Motel 6.
So I'm in a Motel 6 and I get in there and it's all really like, you know, it's kind of like set up to be murdered in. It's like this like really plastic sheets and everything. And
plastic sheets.
It's just like look at the
body parts go here.
Yeah, it just looks very like easy to like just take a everyday garden hose and wash the blood down of the whole room. And then
wait, there were plastic sheets in the room?
Just hanging on the window.
Oh, okay.
And like a prison cot.
Okay.
But with Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So I get there at like 12 or so, and I get in the room and I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna go to sleep. And I'm also like kind of half wondering how much COVID is in this room.
Yeah.
So I fall asleep, and then I get a call. Granted, I went to sleep at around 1.
A call not to your cell phone, but
to the room.
To the room.
I got a call to the room from the front desk. And this is like 5 in the morning, and like from the front desk, and the woman goes, "Hey, there's a guy he says he left something in the room. He has to come up there." And I'm like in my underwear. I'm like, "No, no, don't send him up here, no." And she was like, "No, he's got to come up there and get something. He said it'll be really quick." I'm like, "I don't care. No, I'm naked right now. Like, do not send him up here." And she was like, "Well, he's already on his way, so bye." It clicks. I'm like, "Hello, hello."
Real quick, was this Motel 6? Do the doors open to the outside, or was there like an interior hallway?
This was it was on the second floor, and it opened to the outside.
Okay, yeah,
and
so
there was like
he's at least kind of out of breath when he's punching the knife into you.
Well, I was just asking because
there were also 8 million padlocks on the door, like. Which is never a good sign. it's not restful.
Right. I was just asking because it'd be way more insane if it was like one of those situations where like all the, it was like an interior hallway and she just like let him into the hallway, but I guess it's open to the outside. So,
and to be fair, he did go to the front desk first.
He went through the procedures.
He went through the process and then was like, "Fuck this, I don't care. I'm on methamphetamine." And then
left all of your money.
Yeah. So she's like, he's coming. It doesn't matter. He's coming. He'll be there in just a second. Click. I'm like, hello. And then like a second later, knock on the door. I'm like, what the fuck? And I get up and I'm like, I answer the door like an idiot. I'm like completely out of it. I'm like naked. I like go up to the door and I like crack the door. I'm like, what is it? What do you want? And this like guy sitting there, he's about 5'2" or something.
He's like so scary.
He's like
Charles Manson height.
Yeah, he's small, but he's got like a big beard and he's bald and his eyes are super sunken in, and he's got like these like he's pinballing out on those eyes. I mean, those eyes are pupils. They're just
Trevor from Grand Theft Auto.
He's Trevor from Grand Theft Auto. He kind of like I'm trying to think who else he looks like. He looks like remember the old bass player from Queens of the Stone Age? He looked like that guy but fatter and shorter.
Oh no!
And like his eyes they really sunken in. Like he hadn't been asleep at all that night or the last
night.
8 nights. Yeah. And so he's sitting there and he's like, hey man, hey, can I come in there real quick? I think I left something in there, man. I'm like, no, please go away. Please go away. And I'm like not making eye contact because I'm a coward. And I'm like staring straight down at the ground.
Wait. So did you open?
I cracked the door.
Oh, okay, with the chain still on and
the
shit?
chain's still on.
Okay.
And I was like, "What? No, you got to go away." He's like, "Please, brother, just let me come in there for 1 second, dude, please."
No.
And I was like, "No, dude, please go away. You can't come in here." And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna. Could you look for it? Could you look for it real quick?" And I was like, "Oh, no." And he was like,
"Look for all my meth because it's missing."
He was like,
"It'd be better if it was meth."
Oh, he was like, "There's a plastic box underneath the bed. Can you look for it?" And I was like, "I'm not looking for it." He's like, "I'm gonna be honest with you, dude, for real. I got permits. It is a gun." And I was like, "Go away. Please go away."
Look, man, this Dunkin' Donuts isn't gonna rob itself.
He's like, "Dude, it is a gun." And he was like, I was like, "Please go away." And then he was like, "Okay, I'll be back at 9," which is 4 hours from then. Closes the door. Out of morbid curiosity, checked. There is no plastic box with a gun in it underneath the bed, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I definitely spent from then until 9 staring at the ceiling.
Why?
Terrified.
Were you scared?
I was like irrationally scared. Where I was like, I can't leave though. He's in the parking lot. Like, so I was like, I didn't sleep and I didn't go outside.
You just look outside and he's just down there with a fucking WD.
I said I'd be back at 9. And he's got like a chainsaw.
He's burning anthills with a WD-40 can and a
the bigger
lighter.
Question is, where is his gun? His gun's just.
Well, if you could tweet at us where his gun would be at, listeners.
If you found Uncle Scratchy's gun, we need to know where it is.
Did he find it?
Well, so Rod brought up this point, and this is like the fucking freakiest thing is like if you had let him in to look for this gun and it's not there, then there's just a crazy man who thinks you took his gun in the room. Like
it's just awkward.
It's scary as shit.
It's just Well,
where is it?
He's gonna freak out.
Where the fuck is it?
I mean, even if he's gonna freak out.
At this hotel where there's a guy's like, I left my gun in the room.
That's the other thing.
I like all the considerations he took though. Like he went to the front desk. He was like, I do have permits for it. Like, like what if I let him in because I have zero boundaries? That was also like such a sign. It's like you need to build up your boundaries a little stronger, buddy. And like let him in. He like looked at everything and he was like, okay, dude, I know you probably took it. I'm really trying to manage my anger right now. I know it's in your fucking car and I don't mean to curse, but I feel like you have it.
I'm going to light the car on fire.
All right. So we're in agreement that I think that you have it, and you probably do.
That's so funny.
Look, I'm going to be back at like 8:30. 8:40. I'm going to bring breakfast, and we're going to talk about this because you have my gun. I'm going to bring Chicky biscuits.
Shit.
I'm going to bring Chicky biscuits from Mickey D's next door.
Those will be for me. I'm bringing you a rubber chicken and some cigarette ashes.
Even though
they had
you
to-
don't deserve it, I'm bringing Whataburger, chicken honey biscuits, because I got Jesus in my heart. But you know what you have in your heart? Probably my gun.
Probably my gun. I'm pretty sure you have my gun. Like fatty, and like you don't gotta call me fatty.
On your person.
There were so many signs in that room that said "Don't smoke in here." They're like, seriously,
Yeah.
and everyone had,
Of
And-
course.
and you can't like rip the signs off. They're like, everything in that room is like the lamp, everything was just like drilled into place.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean,
Get yourself a little meth hideout there.
I mean, it did make for a good meth. I understand why he picked it. Why he went over the options too on Hotel tonight, and he was like, "Where can me and my gun have a
Yeah.
we're a little put upon, but we got to find somewhere to stay."
No, that's why we call it Invermeth.
Invermeth,
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that was a nickname for it until right now.
No, I mean I just made it up, but it probably is. We stayed somewhere similar. Me and Goodnight and
Yeah.
Frank and Jay Geary, and there was just like some crazy shit happening in the parking lot. Like that area of Birmingham, it's rough.
I wasn't aware. So I went and talked to the front desk about this mix-up. This a very understandable mix-up. And I was, I never, to be fair, I'd really try not to be a complainy consumer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I try to
You
just...
were absolved of all Karenness in this situation.
Right,
A meth head came to your door looking for a gun.
Absolutely. And I feel like being like a server and shit like that,
Yeah.
like makes you feel like you have to be like a saint to everyone who
yes. Yeah.
works a job where they have to talk to you face to face.
customer service.
Customer
yeah.
service.
Which all three of us do. So, yeah.
Right. But so I was like, but I went up there and I was like, with the best intentions, I was like, hey, I'm going to need my money back for that room because
Yeah, dude.
you fucking you directed someone to the room and I know it's not your fault. Like I was really trying to be like
Yeah.
diplomatic about it. She was like, oh yeah, I know. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that. It was a different person. But they're
Right.
like, we're so sorry about that. She's new. She shouldn't have done that.
Look, we've told Uncle Scratchy to not.
Uncle Scratchy does that sometimes, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna need a refund on this room." And then she's like, "It's like, all right, hold on, let me go talk to the manager." And she goes off into this shadowy corner. The manager does not come out. I asked for the manager like 8 times.
The manager doesn't exist.
He stays in the but yeah, she goes around, does
talking to an empty dark room.
At best, it's the
it's a
scene.
skeleton with a fucking with her mother's like clothes on and a wig on. It's a
there you go.
psycho situation.
Yeah.
But like she comes back and she's like, okay, I can give you 20% off. I'm like, fuck you. And I was like, give me
It's
back
a gun.
I was like, it's a gun. I started saying stuff like, I was fearing for my life.
Yeah.
And then like she comes back, she's like, all right, let me talk to the manager again. Doesn't work. She's like, half off. I'm like, this is not fucking haggling.
It's not a
with you.
negotiation.
This is not a negotiation. I was like, this is what did it. I was like, I will get on the internet and put things on Yelp that you wouldn't believe. And she goes back and then she's like, so sorry about this. And then refunds it. But apparently, if you threaten Yelp, and I've been threatened with bad Yelp reviews,
If you scream Yelp in a sketchy hotel.
Yelp is the decider of anything you want.
Oh, yeah.
You can be like, I'm going to rob this bank unless you want a bad review on Yelp.
Have you ever seen that movie Memento?
Yeah, I love that movie.
I think that's what Uncle Scratchy was. I think that's why they let it happen. It's just like his gun's not there. His gun was there 20 years ago. He just keeps looking for it every night.
Oh man, yeah, Uncle Scratchy, dude. Yeah, it's like yeah, it's like you, and they have to give. If you see the ghost of Uncle Scratchy, then you have to give up the rent for the night. It's like it's a seasonal deal they do on Thanksgiving. You saw Uncle Scratchy? Congratulations.
We only have one room open, but at approximately 5 a.m., a man's going to come looking for his gun.
That was the thing too, like the fucking struggle to get $50 back.
Right.
I was just like, come on, man.